And good morning, everyone. It is time for another Chat Canna, of course, our Monday show. And that means we are doing a Have You Heard? A little quickie to get your week going here and bring you some information and have a little bit of fun. And along with that little bit of fun, I've got a teaser for you today. Maybe it'll bring you along through the entire show, but I just have to do this one with you. My cousin's son was out traveling this weekend, and he brought us this particular picture. Why is someone sending all sorts of messages to me? Not right now. That's Veronica. She might join us here a little bit later. But he sent this picture in today, and I'm going to put the picture up right now. And I'm going to leave it there just a few seconds because you can always go back and stop the video. But I'm going to leave the picture here, and I'm only going to give you an explanation of it at the end of this morning's show. This is somewhere in the upper peninsula in Michigan. He lives in Kewanee, Michigan, and they do a lot of weekend traveling. But he took this particular picture over the weekend. Do you think you got it? Well, stick around to the end of the show, and we'll let you know. We'll let you know if you have it. I just broke out laughing when I saw it. I got it right away, but I'll tell you why at the end. Anyway, Kurt, thank you very much for sending that picture. Not at all hemp related, but that's all right. It's Monday morning, and what a great October the 12th it is. Most everything is all wrapped up around here in the Red River Valley where I am. We are. There may be a few loads of sugar beets going in yet. But as far as I know, everything that's out in the flatlands is done. Soybeans, all the grain, of course, done a long, long time ago. There are some sunflowers yet over on the bypass as you're going into Crookston from the north side. And I'm sure they're leaving those to the very end, waiting for the back of the headstalks to dry out. But other than that, I think it's very, very close to being a wrap season here, and people are getting out and doing all that end of season application of fertilizers and other things and getting ready for next year. And how nice it is compared to the past years that we have had. I mean, I'm telling you, it's just been crazy these last couple of years. So we're thankful for that. The reports that I get are not a bad year, not a great year, just a regular year. No one's complaining, and no one's whining, as some of the folks I know have an ability to do. I think it's part of the DNA, but absolutely no complaints, but no celebration, and that's just fine. I think that's a good place to be. Today, our story today, the story that I'm bringing you today is a little bit of hemp information from around the world. And you might see that it looks like a light is going on here a little more or not. And that's my camera, and the new camera is coming. There's just no way to overcome that. There it is. It's something in the software, and there's just no fixing it apparently. And it's not, I have two of these cameras now. These are relatively inexpensive cameras. And it seems like it's fixing itself all the time. If you are outside, it works perfect. But in here, in this room, there's absolutely fixed lighting. We have light bars and two big umbrellas. The light's not changing, but yet the camera is changing how it's seeing me. And I don't know why it's doing that. But there you go. See, look at that. So anyway, we're going to fix that. Today, the big story is different countries. We're bringing you news about different countries. We're going to start with the biggest hemp country in the world. I think if you set it in your mind, you're not going to be surprised when I tell you that it's China. 50% of the hemp right now is coming out. They, of course, have been playing with this product for thousands of years. Then it became illegal. And now, again, in 2010, they are free to do the product over there. Lots of government control on it, but still estimated to be $1.2 billion in 2018. So big, big, big. They planted, best guess, in 164,000 acres. More than half of it was for fiber. No other country plants anything like that at all. So, this is China's going to be the big player in this. The big question, of course, is China tends to play by different rules. So, do you want your fiber to have been raised and processed and done with their methods, or in methods that are controlled by the way that we have to do it and play by the rules? They have, you can invest over there, but of course you're investing under the government's control. They can wipe you out at any time. It's going to be kind of wacky. So this is your choice. As the world's largest hemp producer, both in fiber and seed, they're going to, of course, have a big influence. And that's what it is. China's the big player. There's no question about it. But they're on the other side of that wall that has been created, not the wall, Great Wall of China, but this economic and governmental and how you do business wall that seems to be pervasive for all of the different products. As long as our products are flowing that way, or the products that we get are not human consumption kind of things, I guess I don't care so much. But how are we going to use these hemp products? Romania, let's circle the globe. Let's get back to Romania. You wouldn't think, that Romania is a big deal, right? Romania, a little tiny country. I don't think much of it. One of Europe's largest hemp producers. They are experiencing a resurgence in planting hemp. They were absolutely the top, but there was lower demand. So the government regulations kind of kicked in. Old processing facilities have all flipped as international demand has grown, and now new processing is being built in Romania, and there is more government support for the industry. Some statistics. Romania's hemp seed imports reached 2.6 million during the first 8 months of 2019. That's the only numbers we have. 2.6 compared with 1.7 the year before. Big increase. That's according to our USDA's Foreign Agriculture Service, hereafter referred to as FAS. You'll hear that a lot. The agency said Romania is among the top 5 European Union members that are cultivating hemp. For them, fiber, oil, seed, or grain. The plant's THC cannot exceed 0.2. 0.2, they got it tougher than we do. Hemp seeds are Romania's most traded product. The United States is Romania's top export destination for their hemp seeds, at least in 2019. Why are we importing hemp seeds? Boys and girls, men and women, farmers of all areas. Why are we importing hemp seeds? Colombia. You think Colombia is the big place for cocaine? Well, over the past few years, hundreds of $millions of investors is pouring into Colombia. This is right along the equator. Money has gone to build infrastructure for vertically integrated pharma-oriented extracts, according to folks down there and the venture capitalist people that are just pounding the pavement, getting money for Colombia. It's one of the places in the world where cannabis, the word cannabis, used both for the marijuana side and for the hemp side. So they use the same thing. Here's their marker. Their marker is 1%, not 0.1, 1%. Under 1%, hemp. Over 1%, the other side. Psychoactive cannabis is what they use the word for. So 1% hemp, anything over is in that other market. The tropical weather down there makes it ideal for low-cost greenhouse operations. They generally get 3 or 4 crops a year. The big advantage is the weather. The big downfall is the weather. And here's why. Industrial hemp doesn't grow well down there. Are you listening, American farmers? They can do great on the CBD side or any of the pharma side. Tropical weather, not friendly to industrial hemp. They, of course, are trying everything they can with seed genetics to start making it so industrial hemp will grow there. But we have an edge on them. Let's keep that edge. So, we shouldn't have to import from Romania, and we should be ahead of Colombia. Ecuador, right next door, again, another country that is right in the equator down there. They are in Colombia is so far ahead. Ecuador is just taking its first steps. 2019, they only got legislation. They are at the 1% marker, not 0.1, but 1%. So far, they are only in industrial, fiber for textiles. The government has 120 days back from June 21st, so that's coming up right now to try and put any other kind of legislation in place. But right now, they are only in the game for fiber, and of course, like we talked about, does not perform well yet down there. Lithuania, we're circling back and forth. We're going from Western Hemisphere to Eastern Hemisphere. Back in the Eastern Hemisphere, Lithuania, tiny country. It's as big as West Virginia, one of the larger hemp growers in the EU. Production is going to ramp up even more with pending legislation that will allow farmers to use the whole plant. Listen to this. Lithuania last year, 22,600 and some acres, double Germany. And Germany considered the big player. Currently, farmers can grow EU-approved strains to produce hemp fibers and seeds, but they cannot produce, or process rather, they can't process leaves or flowers, anything else except for research and development. Sale of biomass is permitted only internationally. You can get it out of the country, can't use it in the country. The tops of the hemp flower have to be exported, and in their country, CBD products are illegal. Nothing, illegal. That's Lithuania's first hemp law, started in 2014. They are working to expand the plant's use. The new proposals would license hemp farmers to use all the parts of the plant for processing as long as they are under 0.2. And so that is going to change. And, you know, they got the game going really well as far as, 22,000 acres and double of Germany. So when they get those laws changed, watch out, they are going to be a player. Now let's go to Germany. Germany, of course, had a 14-year ban that lifted in 1996. Recent years, the demand is going up. In last year, they grew 11,100 acres, and that was up 45%, almost double from 2018. I do not have this year's planting statistics yet. The amount of hemp grown has steadily risen since 2013. There was 86 establishments and 1,000 acres back in 2013. Now there are 575 establishments. And if you remember Margaret on the show last week, she said that's about how many hemp farmers there are in Minnesota. And it's interesting because Germany isn't too much bigger than Minnesota. Certainly it's not any bigger if you take out the metropolitan areas, because we have one metropolitan area and Germany has like 11 of them. So when you get, and some mountains. So if you take out the mountainous and urban areas, Germany and Minnesota, about the same. It's interesting, we have about the same number of hemp farmers right now. Germany trails some of Europe's most prolific hemp cultivators, such as France and Lithuania. But in 2019, 35,000 acres for France, 22,500 for Lithuania. Germany retailers. Here's the money news for today's show. These next two paragraphs. German retailers say they're seeing demand from hemp-derived products such as cereal bars, hemp flour, oil, and beverages. That's what's coming out that the USDA, FAS, is telling us. Let me run that again. Cereal bars, hemp flours, oils, and beverages. One of Germany's largest retailers. This is one company. They have 100 different hemp-based products on their shelves, or ready to put on retailer shelves. 100 different hemp-based products in their shelves. Another well-known drugstore has more than 40 such products. According to the German Federal Institute of Risk Assessment, more than 200 hemp-derived products have entered the German marketplace between 12 and 17, and 150 of them were food products. Between 2012 and 2017, more than 150 of them were food products coming into the German market. Let's go back to those foods: cereals, cereal bars, hemp flour, oil, of course, to use for cooking, and beverages. We got a lot of work to do, folks. We got to get those products so they're nice and clean, so that kitchens, industrial test kitchens, can be used to develop them into recipes and foods, so the housewives of America, separate from the fast food grab the bar and run from a convenience store, but so that they can be cooked into products that people can use and make, rather than just the absolutely certain kind of diets call for it, and those people that put 2 hours into deciding how they're going to eat every day. We've got to get this as a staple into our diets. We've got to get it so that when you go and sit down in a restaurant and they're having a fish special, they're saying, and it's rolled in hemp flour, things like that. That's how we've got to move this into our world. That's the hemp show for today. Let's get back to this. Do you recognize this? It goes from top down. Paradise by the Dashboard Lights. Do you remember that song by Meatloaf? I know it goes way back. It's you got to be like 60 years old to remember it, but the song has been around on all of the rock and roll hit parades and all of the going back in time. And apparently Kurt he must have circled back, I'm sure, to see this, because his car is pulled off on the edge of the road. But there it is, Paradise by the Dashboard Lights. And I think this picture should go viral. I mean, it should actually, maybe I'll help that along sometime today. That is our Chat Canna show for today. We are so happy that you joined us. Wow. We'll see you again tomorrow for a long format show. We've got interviews lined out for the next couple of weeks. It's going to be some great time. Get out and enjoy the last couple of weeks of great weather here when you can. And in the meantime, we thank you for joining us today on Have You Heard? And tomorrow, a regular version of Chat Canna. Until then, we'll see you. Have a great day, everybody.